Hey there, and welcome back to Ageless Mind and Body, where we're all about helping you feel your best at every age. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stepped out of the shower, feeling clean, only to notice irritation or discomfort later in the day in places you barely think about? If you're over 70, your body goes through changes that make certain hygiene routines more important than ever. In today's video, we're talking about 3 body parts. Most people forget to clean properly, but trust me, they can have a big impact on your comfort, mobility, and even your immune system. Left unchecked, these areas can become breeding grounds for infections, skin issues, or worse. So if you're serious about staying independent, feeling fresh, and living well into your golden years, this is one video you don't want to skip. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and let's get into it. Importance of specialized hygiene. After age 70. As we age, our bodies go through a lot of changes, some expected, some surprising. But one thing that often catches people off guard is just how important hygiene becomes after the age of 70. Now, we're not just talking about showering regularly or brushing your teeth, though of course those are important. What we're really talking about here is specialized hygiene, paying attention to parts of the body that tend to get overlooked but become more vulnerable as we age. So why does hygiene matter so much more after 70? Well, first, let's talk about the skin. As you get older, your skin becomes thinner and more fragile. It doesn't retain moisture the way it used to, and it's more prone to irritation, tears, and infections. You might also notice that small cuts or scrapes take longer to heal. That's because circulation slows down and the immune system isn't as strong as it used to be. This means your body has a harder time fighting off bacteria and healing itself. So when certain areas like skin folds, feet, or even your back are neglected during cleaning, it doesn't take much for problems to develop. Things like fungal infections, rashes, sores, or even pressure ulcers can start with something as simple as not drying off completely or missing a spot during your routine. It's also worth mentioning that mobility plays a role. As we get older, reaching certain areas, like the lower back between the toes or the genital area, becomes more difficult. And if you live alone or don't have help, those spots can be missed day after day. The problem is bacteria and moisture love warm, hidden places. That's why skin folds under the breast, groin area and between the toes are prime real estate for infections if they're not cleaned and dried properly. And let's not forget about dignity and independence. Staying clean and fresh helps you feel good about yourself, and it also helps you maintain your independence longer. Nobody wants to be forced into assisted care over something preventable, like a skin infection that could have been avoided with better hygiene. Now, it's not just about avoiding health problems. Specialized hygiene can actually improve your overall comfort and confidence. Have you ever had itchy skin that drove you crazy at night, or that uncomfortable feeling when you've been sweating but didn't quite clean everything off? Small changes in your hygiene routine can make a big difference in how you feel day to day. But here's the good news. You don't need expensive products or complicated routines. What you do need is awareness and a few practical habits. That's what we're here to help with. On this channel, we'll be showing you exactly which areas deserve extra attention, how to clean them safely, and what tools or products might help along the way, especially if your mobility is limited or if you're dealing with dry, sensitive skin. It's never too late to improve your daily routine. In fact, taking just a few extra minutes during your bath or shower can help prevent serious problems down the line. So, whether you're 70, 80, or even 90, it's time to give your body the care it truly deserves. Specialized hygiene isn't about vanity. It's about health, dignity, and staying in control of your life as you age. Body Part 1, Feet. Let's start with the feet, perhaps the most underappreciated part of the body, yet absolutely essential to our independence and quality of life. After the age of 70, taking care of your feet isn't just about comfort. It's about staying mobile, staying safe, and staying healthy. You see, the feet are like mirrors for your overall well-being. Changes in color, texture, temperature, or sensitivity can often signal underlying health issues like poor circulation, diabetes, or nerve damage. That's why foot care deserves more than just a quick rinse in the shower. It needs daily attention. As we age, the skin on our feet tends to get drier and thinner. Combine that with years of wear and tear, and it's easy for cracks to form, especially around the heels. These small cracks might not seem like a big deal at first, but they can quickly become open wounds. And with a weakened immune system, those tiny breaks in the skin can easily turn into infections. In more serious cases, especially for people with diabetes or neuropathy, even a minor wound on the foot can spiral into ulcers or serious bacterial infections that are very difficult to heal. Another common issue is fungal infections, particularly athlete's foot. It thrives in warm, moist environments, which makes the space between your toes a perfect home if your feet aren't dried properly after bathing. Left untreated, it can cause intense itching, scaling, cracking, and can even lead to secondary bacterial infections. Now, for those with circulation issues or nerve damage, especially people with diabetes, the risk is even higher. If you've lost sensation in your feet, it's easy to miss a cut, blister, or sore because you simply don't feel it. By the time you notice something is wrong, it could already be infected. That's why daily inspection is so important. Every day, take a few minutes to look at the bottom of your feet, between your toes, and around the heels. Look for any redness, swelling, blisters, or signs of irritation. If it's hard to see the bottoms of your feet, use a mirror or ask for help. A small change caught early can prevent a major complication later. When it comes to cleaning, keep things simple. Wash your feet with mild soap and lukewarm water, never hot, since older skin can burn more easily, and people with nerve damage might not feel the heat properly. After washing, dry them thoroughly. Don't skip between the toes. This is where moisture can linger and cause fungal infections. Moisturizing is also key. Apply a gentle, fragrance-free lotion to the tops and soles of your feet, especially the heels, to prevent dryness and cracking. But, and this is important, avoid putting lotion between your toes. That area needs to stay dry to prevent fungal growth. What you wear on your feet matters just as much as how you clean them. Choose breathable socks, preferably made of cotton or moisture-wicking materials, and change them daily. As for shoes, make sure they fit well and offer good support. Shoes that are too tight can cause blisters, while shoes that are too loose can lead to instability and falls. If you have trouble finding the right fit, it may be worth visiting a shoe store that specializes in orthopedic or senior footwear. And let's not forget about nail care. As toenails thicken and grow more brittle with age, trimming them can become tricky. If you can't safely do it yourself, don't hesitate to schedule a visit with a podiatrist. Improper trimming can lead to ingrown toenails, which are painful and can become infected quickly in older adults. Caring for your feet isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about protecting your mobility, reducing your risk of falls and infections, and maintaining the freedom to go where you want, when you want. Feet carry us through life, so they deserve some extra love and attention in return. Body Part 2. Groin area. Now let's turn our attention to a more sensitive but incredibly important area. The groin. It's easy to shy away from discussing it, but maintaining hygiene in the groin area is absolutely essential, especially as we age. Why? Because this is a warm, moist environment that naturally encourages the growth of bacteria and fungi. Without proper care, it can quickly become a source of discomfort, odor, and even infection. One of the most common issues in the groin area is fungal infections like jock itch. Despite the name, jock itch doesn't just affect athletes. It's a red, itchy rash caused by moisture and friction, and it's especially common in older adults who may be less mobile or who wear absorbent pads for incontinence. Another frequent concern is Candida, a type of yeast that thrives in damp areas and can lead to painful rashes, redness, and irritation. But it's not just about infections. The groin area can also be affected by incontinence, which is more common as people get older. Even mild leakage, if not cleaned properly, can cause skin irritation rashes and long-term skin damage. Persistent moisture from sweat, urine, or tight clothing can lead to chafing, itching, and a strong odor, which may feel embarrassing. But these are all normal issues that can be managed with the right routine. So what does good groin hygiene look like? It starts with a gentle wash every day. You don't need anything fancy, just warm water and a mild fragrance-free soap. Be sure to clean all the folds of the skin where sweat and bacteria tend to accumulate. And remember, after washing, drying thoroughly is just as important as washing. Use a soft towel and take your time. Even a little trapped moisture can cause problems if it lingers. Once the area is clean and dry, you can consider using a moisture-absorbing powder or a barrier cream, especially if you're managing incontinence. These products help protect the skin from constant exposure to wetness. Just be careful to avoid talcum powder, which has been linked to health risks. Instead, opt for cornstarch-based powders or creams specifically made for sensitive skin. When it comes to underwear, breathable, loose-fitting options are your best friend. Natural fabrics like cotton allow air to circulate and reduce moisture buildup. Avoid synthetic materials that trap heat and sweat against the skin. If you wear incontinence products, make sure they're changed regularly and that the skin is cleaned between changes. Another key tip: skip the scented soaps, lotions, or sprays. These can disrupt the natural balance of bacteria and yeast in the groin area and may cause allergic reactions or irritation. When dealing with such a delicate area, less is more, and of course, pay attention to what your body is telling you. Redness, itching, burning, or a persistent odor shouldn't be ignored. If these symptoms don't clear up quickly with better hygiene, it's worth speaking to your doctor. Many groin area conditions are treatable, but early attention makes all the difference. Taking care of the groin area isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about protecting your skin, maintaining your dignity, and feeling clean and confident every day. It's a form of self-respect, and one that becomes even more important as we grow older. Body Part 3, Navel Belly Button. It might surprise you, but one of the smallest areas on your body, the navel or belly button, can play a surprisingly big role in your overall hygiene. Often ignored in daily routines, this tiny tucked-in spot can quietly collect sweat, dirt, dead skin, and even bacteria. Left uncleaned, the navel can quickly become a source of unpleasant odor irritation or worse, infection. So why does the belly button matter so much, especially as we age? For one, it's a naturally recessed area, which means it tends to trap moisture and debris more than the surrounding skin. When not cleaned regularly, it creates a perfect environment for bacteria or even yeast to grow. In severe cases, this can lead to infections like omphalitis, an inflammation of the navel that can cause pain, redness, and even discharge. For seniors, the navel can become even more vulnerable due to changes in skin and muscle tone. As the skin loses elasticity and the abdominal area shifts with age or weight changes, navels often become deeper or take on new folds. These deeper recesses can make it harder to keep the area clean and dry. Add to that a weakened immune system, slower wound healing, or limited flexibility, and you've got a perfect storm for neglect sometimes, without even realizing it. Luckily, maintaining good belly button hygiene is simple and doesn't take much time. The key is to be gentle and consistent. During your daily shower or sponge bath, use a clean cotton swab or soft cloth dipped in warm water with a little mild fragrance-free soap. Gently clean inside the navel, no need to scrub or poke deeply, just enough to remove buildup or residue. If you notice any dried skin dirt or even lint, don't ignore it. That buildup can fester if left untreated. Once you've cleaned the area, make sure to rinse thoroughly with clean water to remove any soapy residue. Then, pat the navel completely dry with a soft towel. This step is especially important. Even a tiny amount of lingering moisture in that small enclosed space can lead to bacterial or fungal growth. If your belly button is deep, or if you tend to sweat more, consider using a cotton swab to reach into crevices and dry them more effectively. You'll also want to be mindful of any unusual changes. A healthy belly button should not emit a strong odor or show signs of discharge. If you notice a sour smell, yellowish fluid redness, or persistent itchiness, it could be a sign of infection or irritation. These symptoms are your body's way of asking for attention, and they're not something to brush off. Most minor issues can be resolved with improved hygiene, but if the problem persists or worsens, a quick visit to your healthcare provider is the best course of action. Hot weather, humid environments, or a more sedentary lifestyle can all increase the risk of moisture buildup in the navel, so you may need to clean the area more frequently during the summer or if you sweat more. And remember, never use harsh cleaning agents, alcohol, or heavily scented products in or around the belly button. These can dry out the skin, disrupt natural pH balance, or cause irritation, doing more harm than good. Maintaining belly button hygiene may seem like a small task, but it has a big impact. It's one of those quiet details that adds up to feeling clean, fresh, and comfortable in your own skin. And for older adults, keeping the belly button clean is more than just about hygiene. It's also about taking control of your personal care and staying in tune with your changing body. As we've seen, the feet, groin, and navel might not always top the list when we think about personal hygiene, but they hold far more importance than we often realize. These areas, though small and easy to overlook, can act as early indicators of broader health challenges, often signaling issues before they become bigger problems. Take the feet, for example. They carry us through life, and yet they're often neglected until pain, infection, or skin breakdown forces attention. For older adults, especially those with diabetes or poor circulation, a simple crack or sore can quickly turn into something more serious if left unchecked. Daily foot care isn't just about staying clean. It's about preserving your independence and preventing complications that could limit mobility or require medical intervention. The groin area, with its warmth and moisture, naturally invites bacteria and fungus. But beyond the physical discomfort of irritation or infection, poor hygiene in this area can impact confidence and dignity. With age issues like incontinence, skin thinning, and reduced mobility make this region more vulnerable. Addressing it with simple, consistent care helps prevent painful rashes, foul odors, and infections, and it supports self-esteem and comfort. And then there's the navel. This tiny pocket in the middle of the body can tell us more than we think. If it's not cleaned regularly, it can become a quiet harbor for bacteria producing odor or inflammation. But with a gentle daily routine, it stays fresh and healthy. No fuss, no trouble. What ties all these areas together is not just the risk of infection or irritation, it's the opportunity for daily care to have a powerful positive ripple effect. When you commit to just a few minutes each day tending to these parts of your body, you're doing more than cleaning skin. You're staying actively involved in your own health. You're catching small problems before they grow. You're reminding yourself that you matter and that your comfort, confidence, and well-being are worth the effort. For many older adults, maintaining hygiene can feel more difficult with age. Maybe it's harder to reach certain areas, or maybe health issues make daily tasks feel overwhelming. That's why these routines should be simple, realistic, and sustainable. Use tools like long-handled sponges, soft towels, or seated bathing arrangements. Don't hesitate to ask a trusted caregiver or healthcare provider for help or advice. Hygiene is deeply personal, but it doesn't have to be something you face alone. The good news is that the benefits of consistent care go beyond physical health. When your body feels clean and fresh, it lifts your mood. It boosts your confidence in social settings. It strengthens your sense of control. That sense of well-being is just as important in older age as it was in your younger years, if not more. In the end, aging well isn't about trying to turn back the clock. It's about adapting wisely, treating your body with kindness, and staying proactive. Personal hygiene is one of the most direct and empowering ways to do that. It's not about perfection, it's about presence, attention, and respect for yourself. So whether you're 70, 80, or 90, remember your body is still working hard for you. Taking the time to care for it, especially those often forgotten parts, is one of the most valuable things you can do for your health, happiness, and continued independence. We hope this series has inspired you to look at hygiene a little differently, not as a chore, but as a daily gift you give yourself. Stay tuned for more practical tips and guidance here on Ageless Mind and Body, where we believe growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means living smarter, stronger, and with purpose.